I'm not a bad guy. I wouldn't have done this if I wasn't desperate. Now I have a safe place to regroup. The family even left me some food in the fridge. It'll go bad if I don't eat it, so I'm doing them a favor while sustaining myself. It's a win-win. Now I can tell the rest of this story up to where I am now. On the run, in hiding, from someone who I'm pretty sure would kill me to keep his secret safe. Back to that conversation between the professor and cousin Jim. Professor was starting to open up about his secret. Jim wasn't even sure he wanted to hear this secret, but I did. At least I thought I did. You're scaring me a little here, Jim said. What have you gotten yourself into? I mean, you're an English professor, right? Don't you guys just read poems and diagram sentences? There's a lot more to literature and language than you think, man. Like what? When you were making your pitch to a client, what do you use? Jim said, we have staff to do demos. We have slick brochures with pictures, the usual stuff. You're forgetting something, Professor said. So now you're the salesman, Jim said? What do you do more than anything? Before the demo, after the demo, on the phone? Well, I talk, of course. Here, Professor couldn't contain himself, and he almost shouted, language. Jim had lightened up a little now, and he chuckled. You dragged me all the way here to campus to hear one of your lectures about the power of words. I got my C in freshman comp, and I'm making 5 times what you make. I heard Professor laughing, but there was an annoyance in his voice. It was one of those disparaging laughs. You used to make 5 times my salary. Okay, now you have my attention. When an English professor is making more than a VP of sales, the money comes from consulting, if you must know, and it's really good money. When I tell you what we're onto here, you won't be laughing at me anymore. And when are you going to tell me? You know the book, The Hidden Persuaders? The one about subliminal messages and advertising? Of course I know about it. I sell for a living. I hate to break it to you, buddy, but that book's 50 years old. More like 70. But that's not the secret. I should hope not. What do you know about the verb expansion rule? The what? Ethos, pathos, logos. The philosophy of composition? Okay, I get it. You know something. You're a professor. You're a smart dude. Actually, I knew about all the things he was ticking off. Verb expansion, ethos, logos, even Edgar Allan Poe's The Philosophy of Composition. I actually liked this stuff, but I never thought it was good for much in the real world. Just intellectual stimulation, kind of like crossword puzzles. Professor got me to thinking, though, with what he said next. Since at least Aristotle, people have been studying language, identifying the ways we use words to persuade other people to do things. Yeah, I thought, when we want something, we use language. It doesn't always work, but it's the best thing we have. Professor went on with his mini lecture. Do you know when the Wright brothers flew their first plane? 1904. That was a little more than 100 years ago. And now we're flying people around the world and planning a trip to Mars. Morse invented the telegraph 180 years ago, and now we have cell phones. Do you think the people studying language over more than 2 millennia have just been sitting still? If we can come this far in technology in 100 or 200 years, how far do you think we have come in studying language and persuasion over 2,300 years? Jim seemed impressed, but he still wasn't totally sold. He said, okay, I hear you, but I know about airplanes and astronauts and cell phones. I don't know anything about super persuasion. That's because they don't want you to know. Then the cousin asked the question on my mind. Who's they?